welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shibani Gharat. Hephzibah Pathak calls herself an Ogilvy insider, and rightly so, because she's someone who has been with the agency since 1997. And then, at the start of the year, she took over as the Executive Chairperson of the agency. She's in fact the first woman to lead the company in India in 95 years of its existence. In a candid chat, she discusses life post Piyush Pandey taking advisory role at the agency, her focus for next few months as a leader, how Ogilvy is better placed than most creative agencies out there in the advertising business, and why should there be more women leaders in the ad industry. Hephzibah, welcome to CNBC TV 18. Finally, you're speaking to us on Storyboard. So let's begin this conversation.
Happy to be here.
It's been 6 months, more than 6 months, since you've taken charge at Ogilvy. What have these 6 months been like for you, Hebs? And what was the initial excitement and how did it pan out over the last 6 months?
Yeah. So Shibani, as you know, this is a succession and it's an evolution. And I was already Vice Chairperson and the Chief Client Officer of India. And with a lot of support from Piyush, I was already driving a whole lot of initiatives. So to me, this felt organic, and there was lots of good energy around. There was lots of wonderful responses from clients, global leaders, well-wishers. In fact, I got this, I call it a very frameable note from Shelley Lazarus, who was our global CEO. And very warm note that made me feel like 10 feet tall. So that was great. And the thing is, you know, I am an insider. So I have been in this organization and I'm quite well versed with many aspects of Ogilvy. I've worked with the people. I've worked with many clients on the front lines, and I have for decades. And I'm very grateful for the very deep and meaningful partnerships that I have both internally and externally.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to journey forward because of the fantastic leadership team that we have here. Yeah, my board partners, there is V.R. Rajesh, who's the group CEO. There is Kainas, Sukesh and Harshad, who are our trailblazing creative leaders. There's Prem, who's our Chief Strategy Officer, and there's Hufrish, who's our CFO. And we've had the good fortune of actually working with each other for decades, you know. So, and this is a team sport. So we've played together, we've evolved together.
Sure. When you took charge, what was the mandate that you set out for yourself?
So I think there are 3 areas of focus. Yeah, one is really to drive the transformative capabilities. Yeah, drive, scale, accelerate them, and drive a culture of innovation. And we have robust capabilities across content, you know, experiential activation, influencer, digital experience business, the creative technology team. So we have this, you know, we have robust skills, but I think the mandate is to scale it, to do it across more clients, and to keep evolving it so we're building edge on the offer. Yeah, because we want to drive, you know, we want to be the best partners for growth for clients and drive impact, you know, at the intersection of technology, platform, culture, commerce, experience. The second area of focus is to keep and it's in no particular order, but to keep the creative culture and the creative fire burning. Because we're a company with a creative soul. Yeah, and creativity is our oxygen for growth. It's how we show up to solve our clients' problems every single day. And this culture of pervasive creativity is the reason why we've been able to do the work that we do for decades. So, you know, culture is very, very important to us. We're fierce about it. We're carriers of the flame. So we want to fan that, and we want to keep evolving that. And the third area is really a disproportionate focus on people. We want to attract the best talent, and we want to build and groom our next generation of diverse leaders. I think it's very important to value people, you know, because people stay. In fact, people leave because they don't feel valued. Yeah, value people and give them enough opportunities so they constantly feel like they're growing and thriving. You know, we have the most number of boomerangs, and I love to see boomerangs. Boomerangs are people who actually come back to the agency. And the recent years, I've seen more boomerangs than ever. And I love the boomerangs because they do the work that you don't need to do, which you don't have to do.
Yeah, you taught me a new word today.
Because they're telling everybody why this is such an amazing culture, because now they've gone out and come back.
Piyush has moved to an advisory role. When you officially took charge, what was the advice that he gave you?
You know, Piyush doesn't give too much advice, but he said to me, enjoy the journey, don't worry about the end.
Hephzibah, what is expected out of a legacy creative agency like Ogilvy today? And how has that expectation changed over the past many years?
So Shivani, that word legacy, right? Because everybody says legacy. So I think you can break that up. There's one part of legacy which is reputation. So we take that, and that's great. But this is not an agency that has stood still. It has evolved and it's been dynamic, and through the years has continuously innovated and done amazing work. So we did benchmark work on television in the 90s. We did work like the Zoos, yeah, which was like multiplicity and very social at heart work that actually came out of a content brief, even though the word content wasn't used at the time, yeah. And in fact, it went viral. It had this Facebook page had more fans than Mickey Mouse. So very fantastic, high impact, discontinuous work that generated so much value for the client. And today we have Shah Rukh, for example. Take an example of Shah Rukh, which is Shah Rukh Mayad, the one that won the Titanium Award and the Cannes Effectiveness Grand Prix. Yeah, that's like breakthrough work today, because that's being enabled by AI, and that's like a fantastic personalization at scale idea. Yeah. So when you look at all of these, it's like an agency that's evolving always.
So at a time when, the idea of a legacy creative agency model is under scanner, is being questioned. We've seen so many mergers happening within holding companies over the past couple of years. What aspect of, this model, according to you, needs to be changed or needs to be reviewed probably?
So, and I'll answer the question slightly differently. I think obviously the world has got disrupted. The landscape is disrupted. It's multimedia. There is more money being shifting into digital. Consumers have changed, yeah. And the way we're building brands today is very, very dynamic. It's no longer campaigns, it's ecosystems. It's through the line, it's through the funnel, yeah. So we have, we've adapted, we're adapting, and we'll continue to adapt. So, and we have built the transformative capabilities that we require to be able to build brands in a digital world today, yeah. So you look at the content teams that we have, who are doing social work, who are doing influencer work, who are doing dynamic content work, including the performance work. Influencer is so big today. We're doing, we're doing experiential activation. We're doing creative technology. In fact, who would have imagined that we would have so many creative technologists sitting in the agency? The shape of the talent has changed, because we need new tools and new talents to be able to deliver the kind of work we need in today's world. Yeah, we have a digital experience business, which is doing all kinds of work: customer acquisition, service design, modern loyalty, continuous commerce. We have MarTech people who are helping execute these experiences. So we have the tools and reshape the talents that we require to be able to service how we're going to build brands in a digital world today.
Ogilvy is one of the agencies which has really women at the forefront. Globally, there is Devika Bulchandani along with Liz Taylor, who are leading the agency from business and creative side. Here in India, it's you along with Kenaz Karmakar. Having women leaders, what difference does it, bring to the table as compared to, I'm sure you must have spoken to other agency leaders. So what difference does it bring?
So I think first is that they bring diverse perspectives because their experiences are different. They have some natural talents, their emotional, the EQ is very high. And I think every time a woman leader, is at that position, they make space for other women leaders because I think they're conscious of it. They're highly sensitized towards it. So I think, because, and every time you put a woman leader out there, lots of other women leaders feel that, they too can be that, because when they see it, they feel they can be it.
Yeah. But advertising and campaigns speak of diversity. Still, the business has such few women in leadership position. Why is that?
So I think in the recent times, people have been more intentional about it. And when you're see, what doesn't happen by default, you have to make happen by design. So people have designed programs around it. They are measuring themselves against it. They're monitoring it. And when you're conscious about it, and you think, see, it's not just about being conscious. You must believe that it is important for business to do. It's not something good to do. But when you have diversity, you get very rich perspectives and you get very rich outcomes. So I think when you're intentional about it and you hold yourself accountable, change can happen. And that's what's happened, in not just our case, but in case of many companies.
Sure. We spoke about people, we spoke about culture. Now let's speak a bit about business. What are some of the key focus areas for the months to follow? And we are just catching up like just a month before the grand Indian festive season.
In Ogilvy, we believe that nothing will work until you do work that works. So it's all about the work, and it's all about trying to create more innovative work. And today the job of being salient is harder than ever, because you look at the clutter, who remembers anything? So really breaking new ground, so we create fresh work that captures and captivates imaginations of consumers and delivers great results for the clients. So really it's focusing on just doing what we have and just making sure that we're able to kick that out, knock that out of the park, or create breakthroughs. A breakthrough way of doing that. So that's pretty much what, it's like, in a sense, in many ways, it's business as usual.
Sure.
But it's really pushing the benchmark to try and see how you can create even more discontinuous work and discontinuous impact. I think in today's world, you have to create impact, because you can't create, it's an attention deficit world. And to win attention in culture today, you have to create, magnetic and impactful work. And it is that creates the results for clients, because finally work has to create results for clients.
Sure. Great. All the best for that. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us
Lovely
today.
meeting you, and thank you for this, Shibani.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have Tushar Gokuldas of Under Armour speaking about their India strategy, their new campaign Zid for More, with Olympic gold medalist and their brand ambassador Neeraj Chopra, and much more.